So the Vancouver Canucks finally did it. They finally traded JT Miller. And not only did they trade JT Miller, but that first round pick that they got from the New York Rangers, they immediately flipped because they needed another Pettersson. Why have two Petterssons when you can have three Pettersson? Now you have Elias Pettersson, and you have Elias Pettersson because there's two Elias Petterssons on the team. Now you have Marcus Pettersson. The three Petterssons together, is that going to lead to a lot of success? We're not really too sure yet. When it comes to goaltending, that's the one place the Vancouver Canucks are set. You have NHL 25 Thatcher Demko, the greatest goaltender of all time in this game. He's going to be sticking around for the next 5 years because we're going to be taking over the Vancouver Canucks for the next 5 years. With the JT Miller deal complete, it's time for me to take over and complete the rest of the moves for this team. Now, since we're halfway through the season already, like I'm filming this video on February 2nd, we're just going to simulate right up to the trade deadline. And then once we get to the trade deadline, that's when we're going to be allowed to make a couple trades, and that's when we're going to be able to give out some extensions. Until then, we're not going to be doing anything. Now, ideally, by doing a video like this, I would wear some Vancouver Canucks merchandise. However, I don't have any, but I have some better merch that I can wear. I could wear my Los Angeles Lakers hoodie because I don't know how we did it. That team really got Luka Doncic. Like, I don't know in what universe the Dallas Mavericks are accepting a trade. Anthony Davis for Luka Doncic, but they're making no sense. I don't know what they are thinking. They are clearly not using their heads. We really got Luka Doncic. 25-year-old Luka Doncic. Someone who's a future MVP for Anthony Davis who's aging out. Like, he's going to be turning 32. He's probably got like 4 good years left in him. We traded a player who has 4 good years left in him for a future MVP. No, the Lakers really finessed them. Also, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. We're trying to hit 75k by the end of the month. But we really got Luka Doncic. Ain't no way that happened. Alright, we have to have a conversation here. This makes no sense whatsoever. So we traded JT Miller away. JT Miller is no longer on the Vancouver Canucks. That man must have brought the morale down so much around here because the Vancouver Canucks currently have a 47-14-1 record. We're at the trade deadline. A 47-14-1 record at the trade deadline. This is a better record at the trade deadline than what the Vancouver Canucks will probably finish the season with. We are first in the entire league. How on earth do we have 47 wins right now? Thatcher Demko, you are the greatest goalie of all time. There is no way we have 47 wins at the trade deadline. That makes no sense. Pettersson, Quinn Hughes, Brock Besser, Jake DeBrusk. What is going on with this team? I don't know what's going on here, but I don't want to make any trades. Nope, we have 47 wins at the trade deadline. Thatcher Demko has basically played every game this season. I am actually terrified to make a trade here. I feel like if I make a trade, I just make the team worse. Like, we have 47 wins right now. How does that make any sense? I mean, I guess that's what happens when you get rid of Vinny Desharnais, which I still haven't figured out how that man got a 2x2. He was terrible in Edmonton, and then Vancouver said, you know what? I want that man right there. I want Vinny Desharnais. And then they ended up trading him so they can get another Pettersson. A lot has gone down in the past week and a half in sports. Between the Mikko Rantanen deal, between the JT Miller deal, Luka Doncic joining the Los Angeles Lakers, I still haven't gotten over that, and then the Toronto Blue Jays thinking, let's bring Max Scherzer to the team. There has been a lot of moves. One of those moves is clearly terrible, and it is the Max Scherzer one. What is Toronto thinking? Bro has pitched 80 innings over the past 2 years, and they said, nah, that's the man we want. So yeah, with all that yapping done, I don't think we're making any moves here. This team is perfect. We have 47 wins. I am not messing this up. I will give out some extensions though. Like, Brock Besser needs to be paid. Like, we have to really figure out who's going to be sticking around here. Brock Besser, you're basically going to be untouchable. $11 million is quite a bit though. If I give you a no movement, we could probably get that down to around $9 million. Like, if I were to offer you straight up $9 million, your interest is actually a lot higher than I thought it would be. So I'll give you a no movement. That actually doesn't improve it as much as I thought it would. So how about we do 9.5? If we do 9.5 for the next 7 seasons, there's a very good chance Brock Besser accepts that. So he's sticking around. Marcus Pettersson, we probably won't have the money for you. You're looking for 4.6 million. We only have 3 million left after the Brock Besser deal. We're going to be losing a couple good pieces here. I mean, Drew O'Connor, I actually would like to keep you on this team. You want $2 million for 1 season. What if we did a multi-year deal? I don't really know if I want to give you $2 million. You're a great player and all, but $2 million just seems a little bit high. Pius Suter, you're an 84 overall. You want 4.5 million. I don't think I can do that. So yeah, even though the team looks absolutely elite right now, we are going to be losing a handful of pieces heading into free agency. Okay, now this season actually has me really worried. Yeah, we're first in the entire league. We won 56 games, so we weren't the greatest after the trade deadline, but I'm very concerned because of the team we have to play in the first round. So clearly, we're taking on a wildcard team, and it's the second wildcard team. Who is that team? The Edmonton Oilers, the 39, 37, and 6 Edmonton Oilers. That's who we have to play in the first round. I am so incredibly concerned. Like, yeah, we were great and all, first in the entire league. We showed amazing potential this season. We had so many guys step up when they had to. But even with all of that, and even with NHL 25 Thatcher Demko, I'm concerned. Like, we're playing the Edmonton Oilers in the first round. Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, what more do you need? If we lose in the first round, I wouldn't be overly surprised. So Edmonton versus Vancouver. Now, this is a great first round matchup. It's a rematch of last season, but something might just be different about this Vancouver Canucks team stealing the first 2 games here. Yeah, I know Edmonton finished in the wild card, but this is still the Edmonton Oilers we're talking about. We have a 3-1 series lead after dropping game number 4. If you even think about blowing a 3-0 series lead here, you better not do that. We're taking the Oilers out in 5 games. Maybe Vancouver is legit. So we got past the Edmonton Oilers in 5 games, but this next matchup should be a lot more difficult for us. We're taking on the Vegas Golden Knights. Something just seems off right now. I don't know what it is, but something doesn't seem right. Based on everything that has happened so far this season, us finishing first in the entire league, having 47 wins at the trade deadline, Edmonton finishing 17th in the entire league, something's not adding up here. We're dropping the first 2 games, we're going to respond to game number 3, we have to win game 4, and that's what we're going to be doing. I feel like this is leading up to a lot of disappointment. I feel like we're going to make it to the Stanley Cup final and then completely fold, but we might not even make it there. We might lose to the Vegas Golden Knights. So we got game 6 elimination. Vegas has to stand on their head. They got to win this game right here. It's a tie game entering the third period. The third period is going to decide it, and in the third period, we lost 4-2. This is what I was expecting. Truthfully, I thought we were going to lose to the Edmonton Oilers in the first round, but us falling to Vegas, honestly, it just kind of seems fitting. I don't know, this season just didn't seem real. Everything that happened this season just didn't feel right. Us finishing first in the entire league, having 47 wins at the trade deadline, taking on the Oilers in the first round because they finished 17th in the entire league, and then us completely dominating the Oilers. Nothing about this season felt real. But you know what? That's just the way she goes. The Tampa Bay Lightning are Stanley Cup champions. Let's go look at those stats, though. Like, truthfully, I don't feel like we played bad during the postseason. I just don't think we were scoring enough. Jake DeBrusk, 10 points. Pedersen, 10 points. Hronik, 9 points. Hoglander, 8 points. Brock Besser, in the big-time games, you didn't step up for me. But when it comes to goaltending, Thatcher Demko, you were average. That was about it. A 915 and 255. You could have been better, but you could have been a lot worse. Oh well, season number 1's done for the Vancouver Canucks here. Although we were first in the entire league, I don't feel like that should be the standard for this team. Like, we're going to lose a couple guys over the offseason. I don't think we're going to be quite as good, so don't expect us to do the same thing we did this season. So when it comes to our first round pick, Aitchison's going to be joining the team. Medium top 6 potential, 61 overall. That's not too bad of a pick for a late first rounder. Alright, Aitchison, I don't care about you anymore. We just got a medium-elite potential grinder. Yeah, he's not going to develop for us, but he's going to be a really good trade asset. So yeah, who cares what we got in the first round? We got a medium-elite potential player. So we're just going to keep on winning in the draft. A low-elite potential. We got Henrik Zetterberg. Ignore the fact that his first name starts with an M. We got Henrik Zetterberg here. Okay, this is actually getting ridiculous. Another low-elite potential player. I know these low-elite potential players aren't going to develop for us, but the fact that we've just been getting low-elite potential player after low-elite potential player after medium-elite potential player, nah, this draft has been doing us well. And can we secure one more low-elite potential player in the draft? Low top 6. I mean, that's not the end of the world, I guess. So we got ourselves $10 million to work with. So you know what? We actually might be able to bring back a majority of the pieces here. Marcus Pedersen, you were actually really good last season, so I wouldn't mind keeping you around for the rest of the rebuild here. 4.3 for the next 4 doesn't seem too bad here, so yeah, we'll do that. 4.3 for the next 4. Pedersen sticking around. Pius Suter, you're looking for 3.1 million, and I'm not gonna lie, that just seems like a little bit too much, so we're gonna let you walk. Drew O'Connor, can we do like 1.8? That's exactly what we can do. And can we do a 4-year deal? Like, can I do $2 million for the next 4? It doesn't look like he's willing to accept that. How about 1.9 for the next 3? 1.9 for the next 3 for Drew O'Connor. Welcome back. Di Giuseppe, I feel like we can keep you around on a cheap deal as well. 1.5 for the next 2. Actually, we'll do 1.4 for the next 2. So yeah, Di Giuseppe, you better be accepting that deal and return to the team. Kevin Lankinen, we're going to let you walk here because I'm almost fully convinced I can't afford you. 2.5 is not bad for you, but I don't want to pay our backup 2.5 million. That just seems a little absurd. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's not really that bad. Pius Suter, you're going to leave. Derek Forbert, you're going to leave the team as well. I'll sign some of these younger guys to some two-way contracts, but other than that, we've done a majority of the important signings. Also, there is one more important signing here. Now, this guy isn't a player for us, but he is the coach. Rick Tocchet, here's a blank check. Write whatever number you want on it. You led this team to 47 wins at the trade deadline. So here's 9.99 million. There you go. All right, so we were able to get through the re-sign phase, but now we got extensions to look at. Carson Soucy, I'm not going to bring you back to the team. You're just not going to be worth the contract. Connor Garland, barring what you're looking for, might not be too bad. 6.4 just seems like a bit much here. So I think we're going to package Connor Garland up with that mediumly potential player we got, and we should be able to get a really good second line player for us. Thatcher Demko, I will give you a blank check as well. You only want 7.8 million. I'm willing to accept that on the dot. However, if I give you a no movement, we can get that for less. We actually can't get that for much less than I thought it would be. So how about 7.2? Actually, I'll do 7.3. 7.3 for the next 7 with Thatcher Demko. He's sticking around. Also, while we're at it, Sheloff, 1.3 for the next 2 years. You can be a good backup for us. It's actually technically for the next 2 after this one. So yeah, we'll have him for the next 3. Kiefer Sherwood is a bottom 6 player. We could probably keep you around, but $2 million seems like a little bit much here. Teddy Bluger, since you're not interested in an extension, I'm assuming you want a lot of money. I'm not doing that. So maybe we won't be doing nearly as many extensions as I thought we would be. All right, this could be the greatest finesse of all time. Connor Garland, a 3rd round pick sent over to Columbus for Kirill Marchenko. There is a good chance we get this deal done, and all they want is a 7th round pick. This would be arguably one of the worst trades in NHL history. But yeah, we'll take Kirill Marchenko. All right, so we're not going to have too many picks left for the coming years here, but we're going to trade the mediumly potential player we drafted along with 2 4th rounders. Braden Schneider's going to join the team. He's going to be a good second pairing defenseman. We're also going to try to pick up Will Cooley in this deal. Bro's already an 85 overall, and I'm kind of banking we're going to be able to sign him for really cheap. So we're going to pick up both of these guys in this trade, and once we get both of these players, we're going to be ready to win a Stanley Cup. Last season, the team just wasn't ready, but after the great development we saw over the offseason and the moves we made, there's no reason that any team's going to be able to stop us. Yes, we have no draft picks anymore. That doesn't matter. Okay, I'm actually thinking this deal might not be possible to get done just because we're not fitting their trade block whatsoever. Okay, never mind, we did get it done. I thought we were going to be a little bit low and we were going to have to do a 3-team trade, but nope, we got everyone we needed. Okay, we're seriously going to have no draft picks left, but Dakota Joshua, I want to free up this money, so we're going to bring in Blake Lizotte. It's Dakota Joshua and a 5th round pick. The main reason we're making this deal is just to free up that money. That's going to give us another $3 million when it comes to extensions, because Blake Lizotte more than likely won't return to the team next season. And considering a guy like Braden Schneider is going to need a deal here, we need to free up that money, and this is going to be a really good deal for us. So we're going to do 4.7 for the next 4 years with Braden Schneider. He'll be a really good second pairing defenseman for us, and then Will Cooley, we'll probably re-sign him on January 1st or something. Now the team's looking very similar to last season, except there were a couple changes. Marchenko was brought to the team, and he's going to be manning that second line. Will Cooley was brought to the team, he's going to be on the 3rd line. We got Blake Lizotte on the 4th line, so those were some good changes that we desperately needed. When it comes to the defense, that's staying a majority the same, except Braden Schneider's going to be joining the team. Vancouver is actually in a really good spot. Like, this team performed fantastic last season, and with the team being even better, are we going to be looking at a 60-win season? That doesn't seem realistic whatsoever, but you know what? It could happen. So the Vancouver Canucks were incredible last season. We have the exact same coaching staff, basically the exact same team, except we made a couple small changes that certainly improved the team. And with us improving the team, it was a massive collapse for 15th in the entire league, a 29, 22, and 11 record. Yeah, that happened. That really just happened. So yeah, things are certainly not going well this season. I mean, Pettersson, 53 points, he's only plus 12. Marchenko, he has 55 points, plus 11. The plus minuses on this team don't look bad. Maybe the bottom 6 is really bad. Okay, why are we doing so bad? Like, we have good plus minuses here. We only have one player with a negative plus minus. Is goaltending really bad? Goaltending is really bad this season. Demko, I don't know what's going on with you. I guess you just can't win overtime games or something. Bro's been unable to do that. A 902 and a 302. That's the difference. We are just really bad defensively. So I guess we should make a couple moves to improve the defense here. I don't know what those moves are going to be though. So I don't really know if this is the right move or not, but Teddy Bluger, you're an 85 overall. I know for a fact we're not going to be able to afford to keep you next season. Your trade value is decently high. So maybe I just trade you over to the St. Louis Blues and we get Zachary Bolduc. He's half a star less when it comes to his defensive attributes, but that's not too bad. At least we get a good young player that we should be able to keep around, as well as a 4th round pick. We just have to change something up here. I don't think Teddy Bluger was necessarily the problem, but clearly there are problems on this team. So this is the deal we're going to finish it off with. Kiefer Sherwood and Sasson sent over to the San Jose Sharks. We bring in Zutterlin. He's under contract for the next 3 years at $2.9 million. He's a good enough bottom 6 piece for us. He'll play some good defense. We just need to be better defensively, and I think that helps us. I'll throw in the St. Louis Blues 4th round pick, and that'll be more than enough. Alright, so Zachary Bolduc or Will Cooley. Which of these two guys are we going to keep around here? Well, Will Cooley wants $5 million, so it's not him. It's Zachary Bolduc. That was a very easy decision to make here. If we do 3 years, he wants $4.1 million. Clearly, I'm not going to do that, so we'll do 2.4 for the next 2. Actually, could we do 2.3? 2.3 for the next 2 for Zachary Bolduc. So the Vancouver Canucks were better after the trade deadline. And that was basically the only positive because we still missed the playoffs with a 40-29-13 record. We missed the postseason. The defense was the main problem here. We were allowing way too many goals. We were better after the trade deadline, but yeah, we missed the playoffs. This team really just missed the playoffs. After finishing first in the entire league, maybe Thatcher Demko's playing way too many games. He played 70 games this season, but I think we're overworking Demko here. Demko played way too many games this season, but what also hurt us is the fact that we couldn't win a game in overtime or a shootout this season. I don't know why we couldn't, but we couldn't. The Carolina Hurricanes Stanley Cup champions, I don't think Mikko Rantanen's actually on their team anymore. I think they let him walk into free agency and then he signed somewhere else. So yeah, that would make things very interesting here. Mikko Rantanen, are you still on the Carolina Hurricanes? Nope, you're on Utah. Low key, that would actually make things really interesting. Utah does have the money to spend. Utah is going to be a big player in free agency, mark my words. No, not going to lie, Mikko Rantanen in Utah, it makes a lot of sense. Also, we don't own our first round pick, so watch that somehow jump up to like top 5 or something. I know it basically can't. It's going to be the 15th overall, which we own. I forgot, we didn't trade our first round pick away. That was basically the lone pick we didn't trade. So you know what? Maybe we do make a trade here and we try to move up in the draft a little bit. Philly, you got a really good draft pick as well. And you know what? You got a name we're familiar with. You got Rantanen. Now it's not Mikko Rantanen, but he's still going to be a good Rantanen for us. On top of Rantanen, I think we should be able to bring in somebody on a pretty cheap contract. I just realized I never processed the Joel Farabee trade. So yeah, I forgot to do that trade, but you know what? We're not going to worry about it. We're going to pretend that didn't happen. We'll bring Tyson Forrester in, so it's going to be the 15th overall and Will Cooley for Rantanen and Tyson Forrester. They're going to say no. We got some other assets we can throw into this deal. One of those assets could be Aitchison, but I still don't think that's going to be enough. So it's going to be Aitchison, a 6th and 7th rounder. All of this sent over to Philly, and it's still not going to be enough here. I really want to bring Tyson Forrester to the team, but maybe we just pick him up in a separate deal because it might just be simpler to do something like this. The 15th overall in Cooley, we get Smith, but we're not going to re-sign him. We get Rantanen in this deal, and then we'll trade for Tyson Forrester after. I mean, at the end of the day, how much do I really care about Tyson Forrester? Like, if we can't get Tyson Forrester in this trade, it's really not going to break my heart. Aitchison will throw you into the deal, take the 6th rounder and the 7th rounder out, and this should be enough for Rantanen, and it looks like it will be. Alright, now finances are going to be a massive problem, so we're not going to re-sign anyone here. All these guys have to walk, because Quinn Hughes is going to be looking for a contract extension. I don't know how we're going to get it done. So this is where the big dollars are going to have to be paid. Quinn Hughes, Filipino, Marchenko. We have to pay all 3 of these guys. We have to keep all 3 of them around. Starting with Quinn Hughes. That is a contract. That is certainly a contract right there. And it's a contract I'm not too sure if we can afford. Kirill Marchenko, $9 million. Not really ideal for an 87 overall. Hedl, you better not be asking for 10. You might as well be asking for 10 at this point. So we need, give or take, $35 million. We don't even have close to that. So Quinn Hughes, do we trade you? Like, I'm being 100% serious here. Do we trade you? Like, Hedl and Marchenko are basically out the door already, but I really want to keep Quinn Hughes around because no matter what we do here, we're going to be getting worse. We need him for the next 2 years. If we did a 2-year deal, we're looking at $17 million. If we hold off till like the beginning of January, I think we'll be able to re-sign him. So we're not going to trade Quinn Hughes. However, we do have to trade Filipino and Marchenko, and we have to get 2 really cheap options. All right, so we got to find some really cheap contracts, and that's what we're going to get from the Washington Capitals. Protas and Ivan Miroshnichenko. Protas is $3.2 million. He's an 88 overall. If that's not a good deal, I don't know what is. Ivan Miroshnichenko, he's an 84 overall, $1.9 million. So we're going to be paying less for those 2 guys than Filipino and Marchenko. And then even with these contracts, I still think we're going to be able to afford Quinn Hughes. Now they're going to be saying no to that deal, but you know we have more draft picks, and I'm not scared to trade draft picks away. So here's a 2nd rounder sent over to Washington. They're saying no. Maybe we just do a 3-team trade. I think that might be the simplest. Okay, so I'm kind of praying that the Washington Capitals is going to be really stupid. It's going to be Filipino for Mikey Anderson, Liam Greentree, and Jordan Gavin. I don't think we're getting all 3 of these guys. Of course we're not. I'll take Jordan Gavin out. If we get Liam Greentree, yes we can. Now Washington, I'm really praying that you're going to accept 2 defensemen for 2 forwards. Like, in what universe would you accept this? I have no clue, but I'm kind of hoping that we're in that universe. So I'm going to offer this package over. It's going to be 2 for 2. I don't think 2 for 2 is going to be enough. They don't want 2 defensemen. What else do you realistically want? Like, I think they're interested in 2nd round picks, so maybe we just flip Mikey Anderson for a 2nd round pick. Who has a valuable 2nd round pick? Okay, so we'll try this. Mikey Anderson over to the Toronto Maple Leafs for 2 2nd rounders. Toronto's going to accept that. Now it's going to be Jake Sanderson and 2 2nd round picks. Washington, I need you to accept this. I need you to give me Protas, and I need you to give me Ivan Miroshnichenko. Zinchenko. I need you to accept this deal right here. Please be enough. It's a little bit off. But you know what? That's not the end of the world, because Liam Greentree, you're going to be the difference maker in this deal. I have no clue if they're interested in him. Yes, they are. Please be enough for those two players. It's a little bit low now. A 7th round pick will make the difference. The lucrative 7th round pick will be the difference in this deal, and we're finally going to get this one done. Okay, so we need to bring one defenseman to the team, and that's really it. However, I'm going to sign Matt Zuccarello because I think he'd be a really interesting player for us. We'll do $6.8 million for 1 season. Hopefully he's going to accept that. I'm offering him more than enough here. And then we have to get one defenseman. I just need somebody to play some third pairing minutes. I don't really care who it is. I just want somebody on a really cheap contract. And you know what, Kyle Burrows, you might be that guy for us. We'll do a 2-year deal at $900K. I just need you to play some third pairing minutes. I don't need you to do too much on this team. Alright, so we made some risky moves over the off season, but I think the team's in a better spot. Pedersen, Brock Besser, Hoglander on the top line. Jake DeBrusk, Protas, and Matt Zuccarello on the second line. I know we still have to re-sign Quinn Hughes. We're going to find the money to do so. I don't see why we wouldn't be able to keep him on this team. Goaltending wise, we still have NHL 25 Thatcher Demko. He's the guy for the rest of this video. I will never question him. Quinn Hughes, you gotta sign a deal with me though. We gotta get something done pretty quick here. I don't want to trade you. If we have to trade you, I'm willing to do so. I will get risky and I will move you if I have to. Like, I don't want to do 2 years at $17 million. I'm not doing that. I'll talk to you again on January 1st. Hopefully you've smartened up by then. Alright, it's January 1st. Quinn Hughes, what are we thinking here? Where are you willing to sign? You know what? This is better. And the main reason this is better is at least you're looking at 8 years. So if I did $14 million for the next 8, where are you looking at? Pretty high contract value already. So how about we do even less than that? Like, what if we talk like $12 million with a no movement? I don't think $12 million with a no movement is going to be enough here. Yeah, it's certainly not. We're probably going to be looking at around 13.5. So 13.5 for the next 8 years with Quinn Hughes, so that keeps him around, and that still gives us basically $7 million to work with before the salary cap goes up. So that means a guy like Leckermack definitely can return to the team. We'll do 2.4 for the next 2 seasons. So with both of those deals done, we're actually in an amazing spot. So after missing the playoffs last season, we made a couple changes to the Vancouver Canucks, and now we're back 8th in the entire league, a 36-23-2 record. This team is all over the map. We're really good, then we're really bad. We're really good, then we're really bad. They can't figure out what they actually want to be here. And it's kind of funny because last season when we missed the playoffs, our plus minuses were significantly worse than this. We are not a good team when it comes to plus minuses. Granted, that's not really the greatest stat for measuring a team, but it does kind of give you an indicator. Like, how is this team right here 8th in the entire league, unless Thatcher Demko is just doing the impossible, and he's not really doing the impossible. A 31-19-2 record, maybe we're just not losing as many games in overtime, a 9-11 and a 276. I don't really want to make any trades with this team. I kind of like what we have here. We're 8th in the entire league. As long as we step it up after the trade deadline, I think we'll be in a good spot. Now granted, we have to step it up with basically the exact same team here, but I believe we're going to be able to do so. Now I can confidently say the Vancouver Canucks are just the most confusing team in the league, 5th in the entire league, a 49-29-4 record. I can't figure out if we're supposed to be a really good team or we're mid. Like, I just can't figure it out. Plus minuses, significantly better. Okay, we completely turned it around. We were scoring way more after the trade deadline. We were just better across the board here. I don't know what the big difference was, but it certainly worked out for us. Defensively, we were putting up amazing numbers here. Look at Quinn Hughes, 76 points, and then Thatcher Demko, 40 wins, 2 shots, a 913 to 267. Is it just because we were winning games in overtime this season? Was that really the big difference? Unfortunately, we're not going to go on a long postseason run though. We have to take on St. Louis in the first round. So Vancouver, last time you were in the postseason, you were first in the entire league and you eventually fell in the second round. Things are going to be different this time around, and that doesn't mean we can lose in the first round. Nope, we have to make it to the second round at the very least. Okay, we are definitely losing. We are done. The series is already over. We're about to get swept. 5th in the entire league, by the way, and St. Louis swept us. I was joking about this team completely dominating us, but it's the St. Louis Blues we're talking about. Why are we surprised? Like, this team really just said, nah, we're going to pick up goal after goal after goal after goal, and we're going to outscore you in one game. Like, we scored 10 goals during the postseason, 10 goals in 4 games. In one game, St. Louis picked up 7. Thatcher Demko, your numbers must have been atrocious. I'm going to be honest, the fact that you didn't have a save percentage below 800 and the fact that your goals against was below 5 surprises me a little bit. But nah, St. Louis picked up 7 goals in one game. We scored 10 in the entire postseason. Nah, like, I really can't process that. St. Louis beat us like that. They didn't just beat us, they destroyed us. Edmonton's the Stanley Cup champion. We got 2 years left in this rebuild. It has been a very interesting rebuild. Through the first 3 seasons, we finished first in the entire league, lost in the second round. We missed the playoffs the following year, and then we immediately bounced back 5th in the entire league, only to get swept by the St. Louis Blues, a wildcard team. No, I can't really explain what's going on here because it makes no sense. Alright, so we only have one pick in the draft here, and I'm going to go for this medium league potential player. Is he going to have medium league potential? Probably not. Medium top 9. I mean, let's face it. Oh, we actually have multiple picks in this draft. I thought we traded our 6th and 7th rounder away. I guess not. So yeah, let's try to find 2 players here that won't have AHL potential. Basically, that's going to be impossible. Medium bottom 6, I guess it's not bad. So yeah, we had 2 picks in the draft. Neither of them were good though. Now financially, we're actually in a really solid spot here. Zuccarello is going to leave the team. DiGiuseppe is going to leave, and so is Tyler Myers. We're going to sign these rookies right here, but we're going to have $10 million to work with when it comes to free agency. We'll give out some extensions, and then we should be able to rock the same team for the final 2 seasons, and it shouldn't be too difficult to do so. Alright, so these are the guys we're looking at for extensions. Hoglander, Zutterlund, Zachary Bolduc. Those are the main 3 that we have to look at here. Niels Hoglander, he's going to be looking for a 1-year deal at $6 million. Honestly, that's not the end of the world here. Like, considering we can give a no movement clause and keep him around for probably $5 million, that's a good contract right there. We'll actually have to do $5.3 million, but even still, $5.3 for Niels Hoglander. He sticks around for the rest of the rebuild. And then when it comes to Zutterlund, $3.6 with a no movement. Don't mind if I do. So those are 2 incredible deals. Can we get another incredible deal done with Zachary Bolduc? I mean, I'm okay with giving him $2.9 million. Even without giving him a no movement, he's willing to accept that. So how about 2.8? 2.8 for the next 2 with Zachary Bolduc. It's just steal after steal around here. And are we going to get another one with Drew O'Connor? Drew O'Connor? Yes, we are. Drew O'Connor is going to be 1.9 for next season. We might have enough players under contract. Also, don't forget about Sheloff, $800K for 1 season. What a dog. Alright, Henri Jokiharju, we need somebody for the 3rd pairing. You just got added to the 4 Nations team for Finland. So here's $1.2 million for 2 years. Or did I give you 1 year? What did I just give Henri Jokiharju? I gave bro 1 year by accident. Yeah, that's tough. Ty Smith, I guess we can go with you. 1.7 for the next 3. That's not a bad deal whatsoever. And then we just need to sign 1 centerman. 1 centerman on a 2-year deal. We got to find him pretty cheap here. And Luosterainen, you can certainly be that guy for me. So Luosterainen, $2 million for 3 years. Welcome to the Vancouver Canucks. Also, this will probably be the final deal. Chatfield, I'll give you exactly what you're looking for. I need 2 seasons from you. So this is what we're looking at for the next 2 years. Pedersen, Hoglander, Brock Besson on the top line. Zutterlund, Protas, Jake DeBrusk on the 2nd. Drew O'Connor, Zachary Bolduc, Lekkerimäki on the 3rd line. Then Rantanen, Luosterainen, and Ivan Miroshnichenko on the 4th line. That's a really good forward core. But don't worry, the defense is elite as well. Quinn Hughes, Hronek, Braden Schneider, Marcus Pedersen. Ty Smith and Henri Jokiharju might be a bit weak there, but you know what? We have a lot of great players on this team, including NHL 25 Thatcher Demko, but he hasn't really played like NHL 25 Thatcher Demko. I don't really know what's been wrong with him, but he better step up in these last 2 seasons. We got to go back to back. Okay, so based on the trends of this video, I'm fully convinced next season we're going to be first in the entire league, because once again, for some reason, this team just completely fell off. We did sneak into the postseason, but we had 35 wins at the trade deadline. We won 6 games after the trade deadline. I don't know why all of a sudden we stopped scoring, and I don't know why we just started losing game after game here, but this team decided, no, we're not going to do anything after the trade deadline. We're going to take every game off after that point. It doesn't make sense. Also, the fact that Thatcher Demko only played 35 games this season hurt us. Like 73 games in the first season, 70 games in the second, 69 games in the third, and then all of a sudden he plays 55 games here. We give Sheloff 30 starts, and Sheloff sucked for us. So you know what? Maybe that's not really a true indication of our team. Maybe we're actually going to upset some teams here, because Thatcher Demko is going to be getting all the starts. We have NHL 25 Thatcher Demko getting the starts here. We could be in a really good spot. Or at least that's what I thought until I realized we were taking on the Edmonton Oilers in the first round, and we probably don't stand a chance here. So this is going to be a quick sweep. Okay, we won game number 1. This team confuses me. I'm done making predictions. We're just going to let things roll here. We've won 2 of the first 3. We're heading into game number 4. We have to steal this one away. We'll have a 3-1 series lead. Why would we steal that one away? You know what? We have to change things up. You already know what we got to do here. We're simulating the rest of the postseason. We're just commentating over it. When we do this method, it works out for us 95% of the time. Let's see if it works out today. We're winning game number 5, 7-4. Can we close it out in game number 6? No, we can't. Can we win game 7? We're winning game 7. This is what happens when you turn the face cam off and you just let the game simulate. You let the game cook and it starts cooking. We've won the first 2, make it the first 3. Can we sweep the Sharks? No, we can't. But a 6-0 victory is going to move us to the conference finals. Keep in mind, this is the first time we've made it to the conference finals in this video. So we got the Minnesota Wild up next. Minnesota's going to be dropping the first 2, dropping the first 3. We just have to close it out. Stanley Cup final. We made it to the Stanley Cup final. I am fully convinced the face cam is lucky. I bought this camera only for it to be incredibly unlucky. The second I turn this thing off, we start winning games. We just about got swept. We lost in 5 games. I don't know, maybe the fact that I just mentioned the camera just gave us a bunch of bad luck because we immediately dropped 3 straight games after I mentioned the word camera. Camera is a word we will no longer say around here because it's incredibly unlucky. We made all the way to the Stanley Cup final only to fall to the Carolina Hurricanes. This was a season we had to win. Jake DeBrusk 31 points, Quinn Hughes 30, Protus 27, Zutterland 19. Pedersen, I need you to be better in the postseason. Lucier 13 points. The top line let us down. That's why we lost. Our first line was terrible. Pedersen, Hoglander, Brock Besser, all of you guys let me down. Goaltending, Thatcher Demko, maybe you could have been slightly better, but it doesn't really matter if the team doesn't score goals. In that Stanley Cup final against the Carolina Hurricanes, we lost because of our offense. Like, all of these games were somewhat close. We just didn't score enough goals. The goal scoring let us down here. We got one more season to make it right. Okay, so we actually have the my friend Ryoki Haru, so I'll keep him on this team and I'll give him exactly what he's looking for. That's how nice of a guy I am. Alright, so we're going to keep the you-know-what turned off because it's incredibly bad luck. But this is what the forward core is looking like for the final season. I truly believe we're in a great spot here. Defensively, it's looking amazing. Like, 0 weaknesses on this team whatsoever. Thatcher Demko, we need you to do Thatcher Demko things. How come every time I have to go up against Thatcher Demko, he posts like a 120 and a 970, but the second I have him on my team, he's like, no, I'm not going to do Thatcher Demko things today. I don't feel like it. Bro, show up for me, post a 190. I need it. All right, here we go. One last run. 5th in the entire league, a 50-24-8 record. When it comes to our offense, that was 5th in the entire league. When it comes to our defense, where was that sitting in the entire league? It was 5th in the entire league as well. So it kind of makes sense why we're 5th in the entire league. The offense was 5th, the defense was 5th, hence we're 5th in the entire league. The team looks amazing this season. We were certainly scoring a lot more goals, and that was something that we've been desperately lacking. When it comes to goaltending, that was great from Thatcher Demko. 44 wins, 4 shots, a 909, a 272. I need NHL 25 Thatcher Demko desperately here. I need this team to go on a run they have never done before. I need them to be absolutely locked in. They can't just step it up 1 notch. They have to step it up 8 notches here. This team has to be virtually perfect. We have to be perfect. If we want to win a Stanley Cup, we have to be perfect. So we got Seattle in the first round. It's time for us to lock in. We're winning game number 1, even though it hasn't loaded. I already know we won. A 7-1 victory, a 6-2 victory in game 2. That's what I'm looking for here. This is the standard the Vancouver Canucks have set now, and they have to live up to that standard. We have a 3-1 series lead. We'll close out in game number 5. We're moving on. The boys are moving on here. I guess we're not. We got to win game number 6. Win game 6. What are we doing? All right, things have not gone really smooth for us, but you know what? We're going to find a way to make it work. Can we keep the puck out of our net? We split the series so far with Edmonton, but those 2 games are ugly. Do we know how to play defense? Like, I don't care if we won those games. We allowed so many goals in that series. It was ridiculous. Even if we somehow win here, which we're not, it's because of the defense. We had the 5th best defense in the entire league. I don't care who wins the Stanley Cup. It's probably going to be the Florida Panthers. Nope, it's the Colorado Avalanche. They're winning back-to-back games. What was this defense? 5 goals allowed, 4 goals allowed. A shutout here. Thatcher Demko actually played good in 1 game. 5 goals allowed, 2's not bad, 4 goals allowed. Then we go to this Oilers series. 4 goals allowed, 4 goals allowed, 5 goals allowed, 1 goal allowed, so the 1 good game. 7 goals allowed, 6 goals allowed. This team was terrible defensively. Offensively during the postseason, we had to have been one of the best teams. Defensively, we had to have been the worst. Like, goals allowed per game, I am honestly surprised that we're not lower than this. We should be lower than this. We allowed 67 goals, and that was the 2nd most allowed. That makes sense. Considering we played 1 less series than these 2 teams right here, not the greatest sign in the world. But the Vancouver Canucks are eliminated just like that. Our defense was just atrocious. Offensively, we were actually really good. Like, we had a handful of guys that were almost a point a game. Jake DeBrusk was 2 points shy. Hoglander was 2 points shy. Hughes and Pedersen 1 point shy each, and then Brock Besser was the lone point a game scorer. So scoring, we didn't have a problem with. Everybody could find the back of the net here. Everyone was picking up points. Thatcher Demko, what happened? You're supposed to be that guy. This is NHL 25 Thatcher Demko we're talking about. And the 1 season in which I rebuild the Vancouver Canucks, and I believe Thatcher Demko will be the superstar goaltender we're looking for. He puts up an 896 and a 332. Nah, we were just cursed with bad luck from the very beginning.